Hello, Loveland. I'm Mike Meldon, and this is your Loveland Weekly Podcast, brought to you by Gina Dubell-Smith, eXp Realty, and Stone Pillar Farm. Many of you may or may not be aware of the fact that we have a race car driver right here in Loveland, and he just turned 16 years old. Evagoras Papasavvas is a sophomore at Loveland Highschool, and he races in the USF2000 Indy Car series at speeds over 140 miles per hour. I had the pleasure of speaking with him and his father recently. He has quite a story to tell. And even though you may not hear his father as well, since I did not have him mic'd up, I felt that his insights were too important to cut. So please forgive me for the sound when it comes to his dialogue. Evagoras is an impressive young man that is mature beyond his years. I believe that we will be hearing a lot more about him in the years to come. So strap in for this one. It's a fun ride. Today is Monday, February 12th, 2024.
Yeah, so like you said, I did start in go-karts. It's kind of like that's the go-to if you want to become a professional race car driver. You start in go-karts. I started, I think, I was 8 years old.
Wow.
7 years old, and that's kind of considered late.
Really?
Most kids, most drivers, they start 3-4 years old.
That's
in very small, less powerful go-karts, obviously. So I, compared to other drivers, I had a pretty late start, but still I was able to pick up things quickly, learn very quickly. And it started in indoor karting.
Is that around here?
Yeah.
Where is
it's
that?
around here.
Where did you work?
Where would you say? I forget where it is.
Full throttle?
Yeah.
Full throttle, which is that right off of 275? Springdale.
Yeah.
So you started at full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I would have never guessed that either. So did they have a team there that you joined or no?
No, so they don't have a team or anything. I just kind of, went there with my dad. He would watch me drive and give me the very starting coaching bits of it. But yeah, just went there just to drive around, just to learn the very, very basics of everything. And then as I started, we realized that I was quite quick. I was quite good in them.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got into a league over there. So it's a little bit more professional. We got into a league there. And
How
then
old were you
then?
Around 8? Is that around?
No, I wouldn't. What do you say the league was?
It was like a year later, so you still
About a
were
year.
8. Yeah, 8.
Still 8?
Yeah. So, Dad, do you have background in racing at all?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I did nothing professional, anything like that, but I used to belong to basically through car clubs.
Okay.
So we used to do track days
Okay.
and the driving schools, high performance driving schools, time trials, and that involved quite a bit of teaching and development.
Okay.
So I used to take classes, on literally in a class and then on the track. So I learned quite a bit of that.
Nice. So you could give them real meaningful pointers.
Yes,
You're not just
we spent
some dad on the side like.
No. We spent a lot of time together. I mean, like you said, we coached him quite a bit in the indoor, quite a bit, very technical with the maps and everything.
Wow.
And as he started picking it up, like you said, we did the indoor league, but then that's when we said, okay, let's venture on the outside now, and let's get you a real go-kart, like with an engine.
Right. So is that when you joined the league? Is now you're outside?
Well, they actually had an indoor league at Full Throttle. But then after that league, I think there was a guy that ran the place at Full Throttle who also had a big influence in one of the outdoor go-karting tracks. And then we connected with him and then got that introduction into outdoor go-karting. So different karts, it's very, very different going from indoor to outdoor.
Oh, really?
Because on the indoor, you're kind of racing on this concrete, like inside a warehouse almost, with just barrier set up. So the way you drive the cart is a lot different versus out and outside on asphalt and Yeah, it's just a lot different.
So you feel like you're almost starting over, kind of?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much just starting over. Basically, the only thing that kind of translated was, where's the throttle, where's the brake, the steering and everything. But other than that, it was pretty different.
Where is that located? Where's the outdoor located?
Camden.
Okay, Camden. So just north or no?
About an hour from here.
About an hour from here. Okay, cool. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so then we started racing there. We did 2 full seasons there. And before both of those seasons, I remember with my dad going over, driving an hour over there. It feels like almost every single day we went over there. And he would place like those cones that you use for soccer practice.
Right.
He'd place those cones on the track and be like, and kind of like demonstrate to me and give a visual representation of the racing line, the proper racing line. So, it's kind of like, follow these cones, make sure your tires are right outside of these cones, touching these cones. And we still have the cones. So when I look back at the cones, you can see like, tire marks on them from hitting the cones. And even my dad, he would walk out on the track and he'd be like, do not hit me, go around me like this, kind of, have a visual representation of how to drive and how to drive quickly. So we did a lot of that. And then we started getting to the actual racing at the outdoor track.
What are the speeds that you get at that with the go-karts at the outdoor track?
Maybe like 40 to 50 miles an hour.
Gotcha.
In the cadets when you started.
So
Yeah,
when you're young, young.
like,
That's all I know. And they go
Later they go higher.
later. Yeah.
And then racing there, that's like the first season where I really get into racing and understand also like the strategic kind of approach to racing, like championship order, points, how all that works, and then how to race other people as well. And I'd say it did take a while to get up to it. It's something like that you would not see in any other sports. So it's really different. It took me a while. I'd say probably almost the entirety of the first full year. It kind of took me to get used to racing other people and understanding where to place myself to either pass them or, keep them behind me.
Because I never thought of this. When you were at full throttle, you got a bunch of just bozos, right? Trying to have fun and zigzagging around and not knowing the appropriate way to race, right? And you're around that, and now you're on an outdoor course, which is totally different, right? And now you got serious racers. So yeah, you're huge learning curve there too.
Yeah, and I think even racing the indoors with those people that are just there to have fun, it almost like helped me in a way to understand the unpredictability of some of the drivers, and just to be more self-aware. And I feel like that was a really good pro of starting there in the indoors. And I think so when we go back to the first season of the outdoor racing, I think I finished. Where did I finish? 6th in the championship?
First year.
Yeah, first year, finished 6th in the championship.
He was going for 4th, but in the last race, I think he was going for 4th. In the last race, we had engine failure and he quit.
Oh, no. So the car did it to you.
Yeah, there's...
0 points.
And with racing, there's also a lot of that aspect, mechanical failures and whatnot. So you may be performing at your very best, but then if, like, say, your engine, gives out, then that's it, and you can't really do anything about it. So.
Yeah, I watch, what's that, Formula One, that show on Netflix?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ever watch? Yeah, I did not. It's amazing part that the car is, you wonder, you get this great driver on this team that doesn't have as great of a car, and you're like, wow, that driver could be the best in the world.
You got to have the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the first season outdoors, there was a lot of, we're learning, both me and my dad, the mechanical aspect of all this. Because my dad, before this, his prior racing experience was in cars. So when we moved to go-karts, for me, it's completely different with setup changes and engine as well. So then we got help from some of the other guys there who were, veterans in this, and they know like the ins and outs of this. So We spent a lot of time of our practicing, not only on my driving, but also working on the cart and understanding how that works. That way we have less failures. But still, those failures, they could still unpredictable.
Because it's just you two, happen. Right? So you two are just in control of your cart.
Yeah, I was his mechanic. He was
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, that was the team, just under one tent, and it was just us two.
That's great.
Yeah, so, that first year, there was some mechanical failures that we had. And me having it my first year, I kind of, it was just learning these mechanical failures and understanding this happens, it's normal.
I was going to say, mentally, that's got to be something you got to learn how to handle.
And also, knowing how to recover from it, like going into the next race. And really, you just have to forget about it almost. Just put it behind you, forget about it. You have a new engine or whatever.
That's a lot of maturity for a kid.
Yeah. So after the first season, we got through that, 6th in the championship, pretty solid, learned a lot. And then the second year, that year, it was, more fighting for the top positions and really fine tuning. It was only 1 year.
You went to Trinity.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Trinity, they're based in Batavia.
Okay.
They have their own go-kart track out there.
Basically, first year we're alone.
Oh, now you're on a team.
We joined a team called Trinity Karting Group, TKG.
Okay.
And the team was basically racing in Indianapolis. So we used to drive to Indianapolis every other weekend or once or twice a month.
Wow.
To race at Newcastle.
Wow.
And that was a lot more serious than here. Because all the Indianapolis crowd in karting, they were there.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more competitive than here.
So you're in your second year. You're on Team Trinity. What's it called? Trinity Go-Kart?
TKG, Trinity Karting Group.
Okay.
So yeah, and it only went 1 year, 1 year difference, and it's completely different now. So now instead of racing in Camden, we're racing at a bigger, more popular track in Newcastle, Indiana, which is around the Indianapolis area. So there with TKG, we moved from the previous go-kart we were in. So now we moved to a different one, Yamaha engines, and they're completely different, different way of driving them. So they have a little bit less torque. So you have to drive it differently compared to the other engine that had more torque, which was good for, just starting, being a beginner.
What made you guys decide that? Was there a lot of people?
Just a step forward?
It's a step forward, step up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these Yamaha engines, they were faster. We were getting up to 60 miles an hour. And here, this is when everything really started to click. I really started to find my groove in racing and really started to, figure out that I'm competitive in the sport and this is something that I can do for a long time.
That's great.
And still right now I'm working to make it a career. So that second year of outdoor racing, different track, different team, different kart, different competitors. The competition is way higher now, way higher level. And I really enjoyed that track. That track I really like. I've done many, many laps around there from a full 2 seasons of racing at that track. So I really enjoy it. And even from the very first lap there, I really enjoyed that track.
It's kind of like this, nostalgic almost, I bet, right? Just
yeah.
How did the season go?
Yeah. So that second season, outdoor racing, but the first season with all these new changes. Overall, at the end, I finished 3rd in the championship.
Wow.
So big step up, even with higher competition, still performing there, matching my competition. And that track is very technical, so it improves your driving a lot when you do a lot of laps around there. You learn a lot of important skills when it comes to not only karting, but, actual real racing that still translates to what I'm doing today.
Nice.
So, and, but yeah, so 3rd in the season, and this was a very long time ago. So 2008. Yeah, 2018.
Gotcha.
I don't now we're talking about the mechanical failures now. I don't really remember much mechanical failures from that season.
Once you went to the Yamaha?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember anything, like too big that kind of interrupted us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was good. Take a break from those mechanical failures.
Just concentrate on the driving and the technique, and that's great.
So after that, that season finished third, and we decided for the next season to just stay at that level, and see if we can win the championship, because we finished third and we were just so close.
Right.
So seeing if we can win the championship, that was the next step. So everything was the same kart, same track. Same team. The only thing that was different was the competitors. Some stayed, but some were different. And that season, it was really a 3-horse race that entire season. It was me and 2 other drivers. One of the drivers that I was competing back then in 2019, I'm still competing with now.
Oh, very cool.
In my series. So for the second season, at that track, that season was really good. Multiple wins, qualified first. I was really the one to beat that season. And no one did.
Really?
I won the championship.
Congrats.
That season.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, so my first championship in, racing.
Sure.
Racing in general, not only karting. So that was a big indicator of how good I am in this.
Right.
And that with the right time put into this and the right amount of work, then I can for sure make this a big thing for me. So after that, first in the championship with a very tight championship battle. It wasn't easy, me in the top 3,
sure.
like I said. But yeah, it was so very, very tight championship. And I don't remember the exact championship gap from me to second, but I do remember it being quite small. So it was really just, really, really close. And even the races that season as well. I remember one race, me and another driver, we finished dead even across the line. 0.00000. Dead even across the line. So what they did was they split the points. So, the points that you get for first, they just kind of gave it to both of us.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we both got first place medals that race.
What's the name of the guy that you've been racing with the whole time? Just curious. I mean, not that I would know.
So his name is Elliot Cox.
Okay. And where's he from?
He's from Indiana.
Okay.
Indianapolis. He still lives there now, and I'm still racing with him today. So I've kind of went up as we've aged, went up the levels with him. So then after that second season, then we move to, it's 2020 now. Now this is I think was the biggest change of all, and that's the big national events.
Okay.
With all the drivers, the best drivers from all around the country, come and race. Same team with Trinity Karting Group, but different engine. That's called the Mini Swift is the class name.
Okay.
And those reach 60 to 70 miles per hour, or 60 to 65, I'd say.
Okay.
And that was a really, really hard year from the competition, and also learning a lot because it's the best in the country.
Are you still meeting? Where are you meeting to race for that?
Everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere for the most part, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Although 2020 we didn't go to Vegas because I was Mini Swift.
Yeah.
But now though it's all over. At this point on, you're going wherever.
Now you're at the nationals, and
Gotcha.
Now it's a lot more competitive.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, some of the races were at that track in Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
So those events were really nice to go to. My old track where I won the championship at. And that year competed in multiple different national events. SCUSA and USPKS being the 2 big ones. SCUSA's Super Karts USA.
Okay.
And then USPKS is United States Pro Karting Series.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the 2 big US series. Competed in those. I don't remember where I finished in the championship there, but I think it was a little bit more down the order than top 5 or top 10. So that
You were in the top 10.
Oh, top 10. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
top
don't remember.
10.
It was a long time ago. It was
Right.
a long time ago. But yeah, so that year it was almost like a slap in the face, kind of. Like, this is the competition that you'll be at. And that will be the kind of competition that I'll be racing with for the rest of my life.
Right.
Is the national, the best drivers in the country, and even the world as well, best drivers in the world.
Okay.
So 2 years national racing. First year was in that mini Swift. And then the second year, this year was a big step up. And as I'm growing, as a kid, then you get placed into the bigger carts. So now we're moving out of the the smaller chassis, the smaller carts, and into the bigger ones. And I think my first race in the bigger carts was at the very end of 2021, I think. Or no, 2020, because it was
In Vegas.
2020, and this was when we went to Vegas to compete in the Rock Cup, I think is what it's called. And that's national, not only national, but also like drivers from all over the world
Wow.
go to that race. Yeah, so after that race, first race in Vegas, with the top 10 result, very good result for my first race. And that being a big national event with even some other drivers coming from around the world, that's where they have a lot of scouts for other teams, for car teams looking for their next big star. And Jay Howard, who used to be an Indy Car driver, so he went through all the ranks as well, so he knows what it's like to be a young driver like me. He called us and asked us to, do some testing, is what we call it, some, practicing in an actual race car.
Wow.
And that year, and that was 2021 when I started in the full-size race car, but I was still doing a little bit of karting on the side.
It was both. You did
Yeah, it was both.
So how old were you then?
13.
So 13. So is that about the age that I'm sure not everybody's on the same, definitely not on the same projection as you, right? So people stay in karting by itself until
And they could stay forever.
Forever.
They could stay until 15, 16.
okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's
right?
some drivers that I know that are actually like, professional go-karting drivers that they're being paid by their team like a yearly salary.
Okay.
So it's
So it's the route you choose to take.
yeah, and I think that year that we had just focusing on testing, I think that year was very, very important to where I am now. Because after that full year of testing, it all went very well. And then we skip forward to the first race, that I did, which was, I think June of 2022. And actually I was supposed to compete in the full season starting in March of 2022, but at the end of 2021, in what was going to be my last karting race, which did end up being my last karting race, but not in the way that we would hope it would be. In that race, 2021, it was December, and we were in Las Vegas for, once again, one of the biggest races that I had ever competed in when it comes to go-karting. And I got into a very big accident.
Oh, geez.
And that crashes is something that you have to accept when you want to become a race car driver. You have to understand that with those speeds and racing that close with each other, that it's going to happen. So me, it didn't really affect me much mentally, but physically it did.
Oh, wow.
And in those go-karts, we don't have any seatbelts, because the idea is if anything would happen is for you to be, kind of separated from your cart.
Okay.
And I'm actually, thankful that we didn't have a seatbelt, because so during that crash, I was side by side with another driver going through like one of the fastest corners. And, racing, especially at that top level, it's very aggressive, because you're fighting over very, very small margins.
Sure.
So you have to be very aggressive when it comes to keeping your position or gaining a position. And when we were both going through that corner, I felt like maybe he crossed the line a little bit, and he kind of, pushed me into the barriers a little bit. So I hit the barriers, but that wasn't the issue though. I was fine. But then there was another driver behind me that didn't see me
Oh.
and then hit me in the back while he was going like 70 miles an hour. So then that sent me flying out of the go-kart.
Jeez.
And then, and we're racing, so this track, and then I hit, the asphalt, the ground, even though I'm wearing all the safety gear and everything.
You're going over 65 miles an hour. Or
Yeah.
close to Jesus. Yeah.
Yes. And, back to the seatbelt. It's good that I didn't have a seatbelt because when I look back at my go-kart, it was basically folded up like a taco almost. So it was like very good that I was not, a part of that.
What injuries did you have?
Yeah, so injuries, that was the big thing. It was like 6-month recovery from the injuries.
Wow.
Because so after that, I think,
Head.
yeah, I hit my head, on the concrete, on the asphalt.
Wow. And so you missed the starting of the first season of riding in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so I missed the first half of the season, 2022, which I was supposed to compete in.
How do you feel just mentally moving from the go-kart to a car in your first race? How was that for you?
Well, so I did a lot of testing before. So I, in terms of driving the car and just doing laps, I felt really comfortable.
Good.
I felt pretty comfortable, and that showed in the practice sessions. I was in the top 10. I was in the top 10 in the practice sessions, and this is like, once again, like the best drivers in the world come to this open wheel racing series when they want to make it big in karting, or not karting, in racing cars, because the series that I compete in is a direct path and link to the Indy Car series.
Wow.
So we go to all the Indy Car races and we have our own race.
Oh, wow.
So the exposure is very big.
Yeah.
And
you're racing, you're 13 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're racing
14.
14.
He turned
14.
the years, it was 14, 2020.
And you could be racing at this level, though. You can be the kids you're racing against could have been in this for years.
Yes.
In years.
He was the youngest in in his class. The oldest was 24.
Right. And you're still finishing.
Yeah, Michael D'Orlando.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, he was like 24. Yeah.
24. And your first year, and you're finishing top 10.
Only in the practice sessions,
Okay.
but racing, like pace wise and like speed, yes, I was there, very comfortable in the car. But when it came to actual racing, it's very different because in a car you have bigger tires, way more power. It's way bigger as well, and also with open wheel cars, you're also depending on downforce as well, the air that's pushing down on the car on the wings to give the car more grip, because that's unheard of in karting. That doesn't really exist.
Yeah, right.
It was a lot of big learning.
Yeah. Indy cars.
Learning exercise. Yeah.
So actually, in the first race that I ever did, learning that aero, I learned the hard way. So I was following a driver, going through one of the fastest corners on the track, and I think this would be around like 120, 130 miles an hour through this corner. And I was following behind him, really close. And so when you're following a car really close from behind, it creates like kind of a vacuum behind that car with no air because the car in front's punching like a hole through the air.
Yeah.
So then I didn't have any like air on my wings on my car, so I didn't have any of that grip that I needed, especially through a fast corner like that. So I lost control of the car, and then I hit the wall and, damaged the car, finished the weekend. I wasn't able to finish any of the races. And then on, it was like, it's my first race. It's okay. It's good to learn that. Learn it your first race, and then, kind of get that out of the way and learn from it and move on.
Who helps you with your mental attitude? Is that you? Is it just dad?
We tried a mental coach, but they're just very expensive.
Yeah. So you just
no, I don't know. We don't have any mental. It's just me.
It's impressive.
It's just
me.
It's just us.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's what you can't have just the skill without that.
Yeah, it's
So
a big thing.
That's
yeah.
very impressive.
And just being able to move on from events like that, and I did. So the rest of the season, since I only did half the season, they didn't include me into the championship. So I was kind of just there, just learning. And yeah, so racing there, and it's really good to race there, race in that series, and just go to all the tracks, experience everything. So that way, the next year you can go and you're more comfortable and you can score higher.
Right. When is the season? From when to when?
So this year, for example, 2024, it starts like the first week of March or second week of March, and then it goes all the way to first week in September, end of August. So basically throughout the entire year, is the season.
The season doesn't really,
because you're testing and training.
Exactly, you test in between, so it
Yeah,
doesn't really.
not really stuff. And just to get off for a second, how does this affect your school, your life as a teenager?
It affects it quite a bit. Yeah. I miss out a lot with having fun with my friends, going out and doing things, and school as well. I miss a lot of school, and that comes with making up a lot of schoolwork, which is always my least favorite part of being a race car driver at this young age. But yeah, because also it's not even like just leaving for the races. It's also leaving for training as well, testing, as we mentioned before, and that's a big thing during the winter is just testing. But yeah, so missing a lot of school, and just being a teenager.
Sure.
It's a lot different, and my parents would tell you this, but like if you compare me to my friends, I'm like. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's like I'm a little bit more mature than them.
Mature. I teach high school. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And I think that just comes with being a race car driver, and like I said before, learning all those things, like the mentality thing when it starts in go-karting, at a very young age. So yeah, it's a lot different than just being free all the time to do whatever. But yeah, it really does affect quite a bit.
And before we get back to that too, let be the specifics. What is your long-term goal?
Well, my long-term goal is to be successful in this sport, be as successful as I possibly can, and make this a living as well. I want to make this a living. I want to make it a career. Something that that my goal. I want to do it for the rest of my life.
It's your goal this year.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and and also not only just be successful in winning races, but also winning championships, as well. And this year is a very big year.
Okay, well, let's get into
2024.
Why is that?
It's a very big year because the way our series is structured, if I win the championship in my series, then I get $450,000 as scholarship money to go to the next level. And then if I win that, I get like 600 something. Go to the next level, I get like $1 million, go to Indy Car.
Wow. So let's go back to when
get the cash. It's a scholarship.
It's like
a scholarship. It's a scholarship.
It's like a sponsor. They're going to give us money, good sponsor money, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to you're done with your first year of car, right? So now you're going into your second year. So now, go into that.
So
Which is the year we just finished.
Okay, so that's the year we finished.
2023 was my second year, and that year, that was like it was a big shock to everyone else. We didn't really know how I was going to perform going into the season, but then after the first race, finishing second in the first race in St. Petersburg, Florida, that was like the big shock. Like I'm competitive in the big series with the best drivers around the world in these cars.
Yeah.
So I have the skills to make it pro, and I can do this. But that year was not easy at all. That year we were once again plagued with the mechanical issues. A lot.
Not that bad.
Well, when we look back at it, it cost me second in the championship.
Oh,
If
okay.
We have two engine failures that they were pivotal. But
And even though they may just be two, in that series it's so tight. You cannot make any mistakes. Those two mechanical failures separated me from fourth in the championship, which is where I finished,
Right.
and possible second.
Wow.
So it was
Where was
very,
the championship? Where did they hold that?
So it's different from most sports. The championship is year long. You accumulate points
I got it. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you
It's like-
accumulate points. Finishing first gets the most points, second,
Right.
third, fourth, and then you go down
Just
the order.
like what F1. I'm trying. That doesn't sound
Yeah.
right. Formula One.
It's
Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
thing with every motorsport out there.
Okay.
It's a season long championship, just like F1.
Okay. Goal wise, I know Formula One and Indy cars, it's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you all start at the same place, right? Most Indy.
Pretty much.
So how do you make a decision? Is that do you already know? Hey, this is the route. It's automatically Indy car, or can you go
Well,
F1?
it's
How's
kind
that,
of
how does
like-
that work? How does that thought process
it's
work?
it's like it's based off of two big things. The first thing is money.
Yeah.
To go to Formula One, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
To race in my series,
That's a big one.
yeah, to race in my series where I am, it's like $400,000 to do $400,000 to do my series here in the U.S. But over there, to get to Formula One, most of it is in Europe, is where they have all their junior categories,
Right.
and that's almost like getting near $1 million a year. So the money is a big thing. And that's like my dad said, that's the biggest thing that really determines your
It's a lot
path.
more expensive.
Yeah.
A lot more expensive, but also we're here in the U.S. to get connections with teams in Europe and series in Europe is very, very difficult.
So you finish this year fourth in the standings. Could have been second, right?
And he had his first win this year too.
Nice.
I had my first year, and it was actually home track, so home win.
Where was that?
In Columbus, Ohio, Lexington,
Mid-Ohio.
Ohio, at Mid-Ohio Sports Car
Wow.
Course.
Okay.
So that was
When was that? What month?
that was in July.
July 4th weekend.
So is that
Fourth weekend.
yearly up there at that weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, so we got to make a. That's cool. Love to go see
Yeah,
that.
we'll get you the schedule.
Oh, I'd love to go. Awesome. So the ultimate goal is then be a professional IndyCar driver.
Based on our path and where we are, like I said before, with the money and living here in the U.S., IndyCar is the logical, end goal. And also, I've also been interested in other kinds of motorsports as well, like endurance racing, sports cars, even some off-road racing as well. I just love motorsports in general. So after IndyCar, this is a long, long time from now, but hoping to get into some other series as well and try that because I just love motorsports in general. But in order to get to that IndyCar goal, this year in 2024, I believe it's probably going to be one of my most crucial years that I'm ever gonna have. And it comes straight down to the money. Like I said before, with that scholarship, and spending $400,000 to race a year, it's not cheap. So that's why I think that I really need to win this championship, get the scholarship money to help fund my career as I move up the ranks.
What about sponsors? Do you have sponsors now?
So sponsors are very, very important to me. Very important to my career, and reaching my goal and completing my dream, my lifelong dream. Ever since I was little, starting go-karts. So sponsors are super important. I have some sponsors. Airs Elite Sports Vision, they help with reaction training. They're based in Indianapolis.
Okay.
So they help with reaction training. And then RP Diamond, which is local,
Nice.
helps
All right,
the school. They do some of my merch.
Nice.
And they're here. So they
That's awesome.
They do some of my merch. And it's really important to get, local sponsors as well to kind of grow my influence locally here in Loveland.
Yep, definitely.
And then I have Epsilon Investments, which is an investment fund that we created. Evagoras Enterprises and Mavromatis Paris, who are family sponsors from my dad's side in Paris and Cyprus. They help as well. And then Tiger Natural Gas and Bodywise, which are family sponsors from my mom's side. Bodywise does nutrition, like vitamins, protein powder, stuff like that. And then Tiger Natural Gas company.
Nice.
So yeah, we have some sponsors, but the more the better.
Yeah.
Because it's still very, very tight when it comes to money, especially spending this much for racing. So yeah, anything's great for us.
That's great.
Well, just support me and my journey, with the sponsors as I go up the ranks in motorsports and continue living my dream and reaching my goals. And if you want to get live updates on my races or what I'm doing training, you can follow my Instagram, Evagoras71, and then Instagram, Facebook, they're both Evagoras71, and then I have my own website, evagorasracing.com, and that's where you can find a bunch of information on my beginning career, like we talked about in go-karting, and then I have and then Twitter as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I went to
merchandise.
and merch.
Yeah,
Where can people get your merch?
So you can get the merch. Can they get it off the website yet?
Yeah, on my website.
So you can get it off the website. And then also if you go to RP Diamond on the website, you can also find Evagoras Racing, and you can shop all the stuff there. They have a lot of cool stuff there.
Hey Loveland, it's Emily Barblow, your local publisher of Loveland Lifestyle magazine. Just wanted to remind you guys that we love covering all of the people, happenings, and things going on in our amazing town of Loveland, Ohio. So make sure to grab your latest copy. We always drop a bunch off in downtown Loveland and surrounding areas, or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Everything from events to mini press releases, articles. I mean, we have so much happening here. We love covering all of the things happening. So make sure if you're not already following us on social media, you are. And stay tuned for more awesome info from Loveland Lifestyle.
The band of the Fighting Irish.
Hey, it's Elise Knapschafer from Loveland High School, and this is another Loveland High School Weekly Update. So this week is Valentine's Day, which means matchmakers are being sold at lunch. Basically, what a matchmaker is a list of 20 people from your grade that could be your potential match, which is determined by filling out a survey and advisory, stating your interests, your type, different things of that nature. And it's a lot of fun, and all the money goes towards student council, prom, and raising money generally for your class. For sports this week, there's a wrestling championship for the ECC, as well as a bowling ECC championship, so make sure to go support our athletes.
Looking ahead in Loveland, Crushing It Volume 2, a Valentine's Day variety show. It's held Friday, February 9th at 7 p.m. to Saturday, February 10th at 10 p.m. You don't want to miss it. For more information, visit the Loveland Stage Company website. We have something truly special here in Loveland. Thank you for listening, and have a great week. With the support of On Brand Studios, this episode was recorded, produced, and engineered by Mike Meldon. Please note that the opinions expressed in the podcast do not necessarily represent the views of our sponsors or organization.